What's up, everybody? Bandit here with another episode of Whiskies of the Galaxy. So, if you haven't been tuning in, this is an advent calendar by a company called Flaviar, and essentially it's like any other advent calendar except for it contains whiskey instead of like candy or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and open this up, and as usual, we will pull out the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And then we're going to look around to find day 7. So 7 is right here. So this is a whiskey product of Taiwan. Alcohol by volume is 46%. So go ahead and open up this little vial and see what it smells like. And if we can pick up on any different notes. Let's try that again. It has a sweeter smell to it. And I don't mean sweet as in like sugary. It just has a slightly sweeter smell than typical. So we'll go ahead, pour it into our flavor glass here. I know that smell, and I can't place what it is right now. And it's really like bothering me that I can't place what I know that smell from. But we're going to go ahead and give it a sip and see what it tastes like. All right, so I can definitely taste a more smokiness than a typical bourbon or whiskey would have. I'm not really getting the sweetness that I was smelling. Let me smell it again. We're going to have to open up the Hitchhiker's Guide here to day 7 and see what it says. Okay, so it is a single malt whiskey, which is why it's got that smokiness. So it is the bottle, or the whiskey itself is called Omar. It is a sherry cask single malt. So Taiwanese single malt whiskey, 46% alcohol by volume. So that sherry is probably the sweetness I was picking up on that I couldn't really place. So tasting notes are going to be sherry, cinnamon, dark chocolate, oak, mandarin, orange zest, vanilla, malted barley, and honey. So we're going to go ahead and scan this QR code and see what the website has to say about it. All right, so this rated a 7 out of 10 with 67 total votes. A 750 milliliter bottle is going to run you $83.99. So this is your typical flavor spiral. So the about is the young and bold whiskey from Taiwan. Taiwan isn't the first thing one associates with whiskey, but the Nantou distillery decided to change that. It's one of many distilleries owned by the state, but the only one producing whiskey. While some states prohibit alcohol, the Taiwanese makes it. And Nantou has been making it for the last decade, and it was high time we got their single malt. Omar is one of the 2 biggest spirit names in Taiwan, and it's made in one of the 4 pot stills manufactured in Scotland. Nantou ages whiskey in bourbon and sherry casks, and this particular bottle matured in the latter. They import malted barley from Scotland, and they only produce whiskey between October and April when temperatures are lower. The fact is that whiskeys usually don't come from Taiwan, but the ones that do are really something else. Omar Sherry Cask Single Malt is no exception. It's elegant, and one can tell they know their stuff. Sherry cask notes are complemented by mandarin and orange, which dominate the palate, where they are joined by honey, vanilla, and dark chocolate. So here's the smartass corner. That one we've talked about, that one we've talked about, and that one we've talked about. So nothing new in the smartass corner included with this whiskey. So that pretty much sums up the about for the actual company that makes it and about the whiskey, how they make it. But overall, I do like this. Very surprised by it to be mimicking a Scotch, but obviously not from Scotland, so it can't be called that. But they actually did a very, very good job So we had one other that was a single malt, which was out of Israeli, sorry. So an Israeli single malt. This one was okay. I wasn't extremely pleased with it. Of the now 7 days, this has kind of remained in last place for me. I would say this is definitely a better single malt than what that one was. Overall, I think it is very good. I'm kind of having difficulty on where I want to place it from 1 through 7. Day 6 was Penelope Bourbon, and that one was excellent. That one took the number 1 slot for me. Second and third place, well, 2 and 3 are actually a tie for second between Noble Oak and Catoctin Creek, which is a rye. Then it was the Starward, then Wyoming whiskey, which was day 1, and then the Israeli milk and honey. So if I were to place this one, I would say, day 7. If I were to place this one, I would say Penelope would still be number 1. I would still have a tie for 2 and 3 between the Noble Oak and the Catoctin Creek. And this one would probably be right behind that. So like third place, since second is a tie. So that's kind of where I would place it. If you've had this before and or any of the whiskeys that I've done in the past few days, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about them. I do like this one a lot. I still feel like the Penelope, the Noble Oak, and that Catoctin Creek, I liked a little bit better. But this is a very, very good take on a like malt whiskey or a single malt to be, mimicking a Scotch. But that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Like I said, if you guys have had any of these, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about them. But other than that, as always, stay safe out there. Keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you on the road. Bandit out.